Hello, teachers, and a very warm welcome to this learning module. It's wonderful to have you all here. Every time a teacher chooses to learn, reflect, and sharpen their practice, students benefit. So, thank you for giving this time and attention to your professional journey today. In this module, we focus on one of the most important teacher skills creating questions that drive deep learning. Whether it is a classroom discussion, a worksheet, an oral question, homework, or an assessment item. The quality of questions decides the quality of thinking in the classroom. Today we will learn how to intentionally design questions at the Bloom's levels. By the end of this session, we aim to achieve three things. Understand why question levels matter in learning. Learn a simple framework for creating questions at different Bloom's levels. And practice identifying and designing questions step by step. This session is not just about knowing Bloom's, it's about using Bloom's while teaching. Let's first understand why the level of questions matters. Questions shape thinking. If the questions in the classroom stay limited to recall, student thinking also stays limited to recall. Higher learning outcomes need higher order questions. And when questions vary in level, we automatically create differentiation, engagement, and deeper learning. That's why the goal is not to replace simple questions, but to balance them across levels. Here is a quick overview of the 4 Bloom's levels that guide question design. Knowledge is about recalling facts and information. Understanding is about explaining and interpreting. Application is all about using learning in real situations. HOTS cover analyzing, evaluating, and creating. To make things practical, here is a simple 5-step process for designing questions. Define the learning outcome. Identify the verb that matches the Bloom level. Frame the task for the learner. Add conditions like data, visuals, or scenarios. Check the clarity and cognitive demand. You'll see how this framework makes question design structured and predictable. So now, let's apply everything we've learned to an actual classroom topic. And what better way to do than by analyzing real examples together. To make this practical, we will use the topic renewable and non-renewable sources of energy as an example. Notice how the complexity of questions builds step by step, from recalling facts to explaining ideas to applying learning in real situations. The topic remains constant, but student thinking keeps evolving. List different renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. And I'm sure you all have guessed it right. This checks recall. Students retrieve facts from memory. Explain the concept of energy conservation and its importance. And yes, you are absolutely right. Here students show they understand the idea and can express it in their own words. Suggest one change a household can make to reduce the use of non-renewable energy. And bingo, you are all right again. Students here apply learning to a real-life situation with reasoning. Compare the advantages and disadvantages of renewable and non-renewable sources. Here, students analyze, compare, contrast, and classify. Examine the environmental impact of a specific source of energy and evaluate its sustainability. This requires evaluation or judgment based on evidence. Next question is about designing an energy plan for a community. Students create something original by integrating knowledge, reasoning, and imagination. What's important here is that as the question evolves, student thinking evolves. The shift isn't in the topic, it's in the type of question. Now comes one of the most useful tools for teachers, Bloom's verbs. Each cognitive level is linked with certain verbs. When you choose the right verb, the cognitive level of the question becomes clear and the child's level of thinking changes automatically. Now it's your turn to create. Choose any grade, subject, and topic. Then frame 2 questions for each Bloom level, from knowledge to HOTS, using the PDF of verbs uploaded in the app. There is no right or wrong here. The purpose is to practice designing questions with intention and clarity. We encourage you to discuss these questions with your peers. Thank you so much for engaging in this module with such sincerity. Remember, questions are not just tools to test learning. They are tools to grow learning. When questions change, students change. Keep shining, keep experimenting, and keep making a positive impact in your classrooms. All the best.